this moment when I was in UK, this is the Tower Bridge you can see. Over there, I realized this thing that Mustafa, if you are going to do masters in coursework, it means that if I opt two more courses, then my masters will be like masters by coursework. That would never be the masters by research. So, what are the pros and cons? What are the advantages and disadvantages of masters by research and this thing? So at that moment, I realized that if you are having masters by research, then the options for you in this entire world is very wide. You have many type of options that you can opt for. So after just returning back, when I was in on returning back to Pakistan, I remember I was standing in London Heathrow Airport. I was seeing on my feet, on my shoes, and I said that okay, I'm going back, but my heart is still in UK. So I promised myself that I'm returning back, but I'll come back again for my PhD degree. And then I strived very hard for 1 year. After getting my master's degree, I just went for several opportunities. I wrote many of the emails. So if I just go through my email box, you can see such type of emails. Many emails are there. If you can just see, there's an email on 17th May 2019. So over there, I also go through the thing that how we write an email to a professor. But just for a time being, just see this thing, that from that particular moment I started my thing that okay, I have to do my PhD, right? Why I shared you this thing? Because if you are a bachelor's graduate and you are going to pursue your master's, or if you are a master's graduate and you are going for PhD program, the very first thing that really matters is the determination, right? There would be so many times when you will not get the reply from the what we say supervisor. After writing such a English oriented email, what I got the reply. See, the reply is, unfortunately, currently I don't have any funded PhD positions, right? It means that every time you will be dragged to a dark place where you will lose all your hopes. So it does not mean that you lose all hopes and just back off the thing. You must have a strong determination, right? So after just going through this thing, let me just uh, what we say share you one more thing, that is how to start the things, right? So number one thing is, you have to be very much determined for this thing. Now there are certain things that you want to make sure. First, when you are about to graduate, especially the people who are from Asian countries, right? India, Pakistan, or Somalia, or something like those countries which are underdeveloped or which are still developing countries, right? So these developing countries, I know some of the countries, but uh, anyhow, in these countries which are developing, I'm sure that there is a lot of saturation for jobs. We don't find job easily. These developing countries, including Pakistan, we don't find jobs easily after graduating from there. There are certain universities that have a prominent name, and in those universities the companies, maybe they visit for a while and just pick some of the people from a batch, and that's it. And apart from that, the people, the industries, they are announcing the test, and many of the people, they are coming in this that test. Even I'll share my experience that when I graduate with a degree, I got my degree in electronic engineering, BE in electronic engineering, that is bachelor's of electronic engineering. With 3.96 CGPA, I was a gold medalist. But after that, I have appeared in so many tests for a job. And in some of the jobs I used to see, my teachers even they are appearing in those tests. What it shows that it's not an easy task to go for such type of test and clearing it and then appear for an interview. And at the same time it's a very time taking process. So if all people will go and follow this conventional line, then how about this area of research? So I think that research area is very easy if you get it in a very easy way. But at the same time, it is very difficult also. But it gives you exposure. It gives you a sense of living. Why? Because you interact with lots of people over here in Malaysia. I have many friends. I have friends from India. I have friends. The lab in which I am sitting, in that particular lab I have 15 of the people, they all are from India. So what it shows, it shows that I have somehow a friend circle with my Indian friends, and they are very good in research and they help also. And being a Pakistani, we don't keep any differences between the states. So the idea of sharing this thing is that you always go for the masters for that is by research. Why? Number one is masters by research. You will find lots of scholarships at this moment. The masters by research, they have higher number of scholarships as compared to PhD. Because in PhD, there are limited number of opportunities. This is my experience. Because when I tried for masters, I got easily admission in Italy, University of Milan. But when I tried for this PhD, I was having failure twice in the same university where I got my master's admission. Though I had IELTS also with 8.5 score, still I was having failure at that moment. So what are the first basic steps to go for the study? I'll be very specifically limited to Malaysia because I have been succeeded in this field. Though I know other processes also. I know about Chevening scholarship. I know about how to get the scholarship in South Korea, how to get a scholarship in CSE. So first thing that is, try to connect with your seniors. Try to connect with those seniors who are already pursuing some studies. Now, how to get a scholarship in Malaysia? It's very simple, but it's time consuming. Why? Because the way I'll start now, you will see that how and why it's time taking process. So I'll pick anyone. Let's suppose I'll pick Abdi Salan for a while, that he's a person who is willing to get a scholarship in what we say Malaysia, any Malaysian university, right? So before starting the steps, I would like to let you know that Malaysia is a developing country. Why you choose Malaysia? I'm going to defend this particular statement, that why Malaysia. Malaysia is a cosmopolitan city, cosmopolitan country. Why I say this thing? Because over here there are four types of people. They are living, four races. Number one, Muslims in majority. Indians, South Indians, the Tamil people, they are over here. The Chinese, they are also here, and the Buddhist. So you find four types of community over here, and they never, clash in terms of their ideological or their religion or any sort of difference. They don't mind over this thing, and they progress collectively for the betterment of the country. So if someone is very religious, any student who follows religion very strongly, Malaysia is good for him. And if someone is broad minded and he does not mind doing things which are, somehow on the borderline of religion, then for him also, or her, the Malaysia is very fine country. Because as far as you all are my brothers. So being a brother, I'll be very straightforward to you. If you are coming for a foreign country, it's a must thing that you make stories, you make memories also, right? So for making memories, for entertainment, for enjoying, Malaysia is a very right place. But there are some things that you really take care of, because when you are going for a higher studies, you would be mature enough. You feel yourself that okay, I have to take care of my health, I take care of my studies, I manage all the things. So I assume this thing that all the listeners are mature enough and they keep balance in between the entertainment as well as the studies. So the entertainment part, you will definitely find entertainment part over here also. I'll discuss the COVID impact also on Malaysia, but this would be later on. So the first thing, now let's suppose Abdi Salan is now a person that is willing to get admission. What he will do? First of all, he has to get all the documents from his university. What type of documents? If you people are listening, kindly note it down. Otherwise, there is a recording also, so you can just go for my YouTube channel or Murti Doon web page. You can also have the recording over there. But at the moment, if you have pen and paper, you write it. So documents, what documents they require? Number one, your bachelor's degree. Your bachelor's degree that show that you have been graduated with particular course. If you are electrical engineer, you are civil engineer, you have done management, you have done anything, you must have the degree, but that degree must be verified by your university. Right, in Pakistan, what I did when I was coming here, I got my degree and my transcript verified by the university as well as by our dedicated institution, that is HEC. So if in Somalia you have some institution that verifies the degree of higher education institutions or universities, for what you have to do, first you get your degree and transcript, the mark sheet. Degree and transcript, these two elements are very important. You go with the verification from your university first, and then you go with the verification of your institution. Okay, so these are the two documents that you have to do. Third document. Third document is a pair of two things. Pair of two things. And these two things are the recommendation letters. So recommendation letters means that these are the letters that must be written by your teachers. So if you are studying bachelor's somewhere, let's suppose Abdi Salan is studying bachelor's in electronic engineering or civil engineering or management or something else. So he will be good in some of the subjects, like he will be good in, let's say, in electrical engineering subject or linear algebra or something like that, or maybe the communication skills. So what he need to do, he needs to ask any senior professor, not lecturer, not lab instructor. He'll pursue some person who is titled with associate professor or professor, full professor, he will get the recommendation letter by professor either or associate professor. There are some of the cases where you don't find some people who are associate professors or professors, but try to manage two recommendation letters that are from your teachers, and that teachers must have the designation of associate professor either or professor. Now, if someone asks me that, sir, there is one of the teacher that taught me very basic subject, that is communication skills, and should I go for the recommendation from him? I'll say no. I'll say clearly no for this thing. Why? Because if you are going for a basic subject, then that particular recommendation is useless. You should acquire the recommendation in a subject in which you are going to pursue your masters. It's a very main thing. People ignore it, but it's a very must thing. You acquire your recommendation in the subject. Let's suppose I'm going to pursue masters in something like electronic engineering, so I'll just consider any two subjects that are core subjects of my degree, and I'll acquire my recommendation in those two subjects which are the core subjects of my degree. Maybe one teacher taught you two or three subjects. So try to ask him or ask her that, sir, you have identified me as a student in your class in different subjects. Try to mention that thing. Okay. So number one, degree. Number two, transcript. Number third is two recommendation letters in the core subjects of your degree, not the basic one, right? Fourth one is the English proficiency certificate. Fourth one is English proficiency certificate. So what do you mean by English proficiency certificate? English proficiency certificate basically shares this thing that the this engineer Abdi Salan, a person who is going to pursue masters, he knows English very well, because at international level the communication medium is English. So they require English proficiency certificate. Now over here people ask me, apart from this particular session, people ask me whether we do IELTS or whether we do a TOEFL, whether we do any English test or not. So it's a good news for you that in Malaysia majority of the universities don't consider IELTS. But when I was coming to UTP, I belong to University Technology Petronas. So when I was coming to UTP, at that moment I had been told that they need IELTS. So I appeared for IELTS, and my score is 8.5 in that. And literally, I should mention this thing that I have not taken any tuition, any coaching from any of the outside institution for IELTS. There's an entire material that I'll share with Murti Doon page and Abdi Salan. That material of IELTS. It's a very comprehensive material. I got it from someone. He has secured 9 bands, and he got it from another one who got 9 bands also. And when it comes to me, that particular material, and I prepared for 6 months, because at that moment, IELTS test is somehow expensive also. So I was not taking risk at that moment. So that's why I prepared for 6 months, and then I went for this IELTS test and I got 8.5. If you study that material, we may have a session separate for IELTS also, maybe, and I can guide you for that, and I can link you those people also who have a good score in IELTS. But that material is enough for you. And for Malaysia, you don't need to score that much high, that 8.5 or 9 or something like that. You just score 5.5, that's it. You can even go for 6. 6 is a very ideal thing. 5.5 I don't prefer, because being a researcher, I prefer that a person should study different research papers. So if he is good in reading, understanding the English, so I prefer that a person should have 6.5. But though now UTP has obsoleted, UTP has ignored this policy of English proficiency certificate. What majority of the Malaysian university says that, okay, people who are coming just provide English proficiency certificate from their university. So on the fourth document, number one is degree, number two is transcript, number third is two recommendation letters of your core subjects. The number fourth is English proficiency certificate for IELTS. Now, I think that if I'm a person and I have two people, one is Murti Duna and second one is Abdi Salan or Sukado. Let's suppose we have two people, and one is having IELTS and another one is having English proficiency certificate from university. So I'll see the GPA, I'll see the percentage of degree, that who has scored highest, percentage. Why? Because I'm not concerned with the English thing. I'm concerned that how much person is intelligent, how much person is good at theory. So I think that you must have good score also, and you must have the IELTS. But though some of the people give weightage to IELTS, IELTS is just as a thing that if you do IELTS, the probability of selection is increase. The probability will increase if you do IELTS. But without IELTS, there are many universities. I said that UTP has just discarded this policy that people should appear for IELTS. So on the basis of just university English proficiency certificate, you can apply for the admission. So number one, degree transcript, two recommendation letters of your core subjects, English proficiency certificate, and now the most important thing is, if you are coming for a master's, if you are in bachelor's, try to publish your final year project. Try to publish your final year project in any of the conferences. Any of the conferences. It's optional thing, but it will give you benefit in long term. How? I'll tell you later on. Okay, if I forget, just remind me once. That's why you forget about the research paper, why you emphasized on the research paper. Just mark this thing, so that if I may forget, you just remind me. But research paper is optional thing, but it's good to have a research paper on your final year project, because you are going for a master's by research. So this paper will give you somehow a weightage to your application. Okay, so these are the documents that you need. And apart from that, if you have a certification of any course on software or MS Office or any Android or software application, you have expertise in any what we say, engineering software or computing software, and that certification you add it. Okay, you compile this entire package in hard copy also, and soft copy also. In soft copy, try to merge all the PDFs into one. Try to merge all the PDFs, these files into one, and then put a cover letter or CV. It's good to have a CV. I will also share my format of CV also, that how I manage the things, so you can understand it in a better way. Then what you have to do, you have to just go for Google Chrome. I hope the screen is shared. So on Google Chrome, what you will write, you will just give a new tab. You write staff directory of. Now there are many universities, there is UTP, you have UTM, you have UTAR, and all the things. For the ranking, what you do, you just go for the QS rankings 2020. Just go over there. This is the link. You just go over there. You will have a QS ranking of all the subjects, right? So at this moment, I'm just specifically discussing the engineering thing. So if you just see over here, this is the ranking. Number one institution in the world is MIT. In MIT. So now what I will do, I'll just pick the location over here. I'll just go and select Malaysia. Okay, this is the Malaysia, right? So if I select Malaysia, you can see the 17th on the world ranking. 17th we have University of Malaya. It should be noted that this ranking is overall engineering ranking, not the subject wise. If someone is going to have a opt electrical engineering, want to see the electrical engineering, so it can just set the filter over here. Engineering management, language, finance, and all the things. You can just set the filter and you will have the rating, right? So now what I'm going to do is just see where the UTP is. UTP is on 482. Now people will ask that, okay, sir, you are doing in PhD from a university which is in top 500. Why? I say that, okay, in electrical engineering, it's somehow improved. It's in top 150s. That's why I choose UTP. Now, the third thing that is very important, that how after picking up this university, what you will get. I must emphasize that university does not matter, because whatever the university is, it's far better than any universities in Pakistan. I don't want to discourage this thing, but still, the infrastructure, the facilities, and the environment, above all, the environment of the university, you will not find in the same way in your native countries, right? So, and above all, they are providing a scholarship, man. So it's very plus thing that you get the opportunity over here. So now after choosing, let's suppose Abdi Salan has chosen the UTP. So what it will do? It will just go over a tab. It will write a staff directory of UTP. After writing you staff directory of an UTP, you just enter. So you will have directory staff. You will just click on this thing and you will have a page where you can see that it's a UTP page. Over here you can write a name, you can write a specialization. Let's suppose you want a specialization in communication, you want electrical engineering, you want control, whatever you want. And this is the department, what type of department you want. Let's suppose I pick electrical and electronic. Simple, I don't know the name, I'll just write electrical and electronic and I'll go for a search. And I'll go for a search. I'll have entire faculty members over here. So if you have entire faculty members, now a matter of thing that what type of person I must choose. So for that, I must suggest you that you should go for professor or associate professor, not lecturer, because associate professor and professor, they all have grants. you know they all have grants, and these people are the people who have a lot of grants. So once they accept you, I'll tell you that how to write the email also. But once they will accept you, they have grants also in Malaysia. The education ministry provide opportunities to universities that their faculty members write some grant on some topic, and university is getting amount from education ministry for that, and that amount will be spent on the student who is pursuing masters or this what we say PhD. Regarding this stipend, if I just go and convert the amount into MYR, it's the currency is ringgit. So MYR into let's suppose I convert to PKR, the Pakistani currency. So what you call the Somalian currency?
Somali
Mostly
shilling,
I
sir.
use in USD.
Somali shilling.
Uh,
Somalia.
Somali shilling.
Okay, just write Somalians. Let's see. It's not Somalia currency. Okay, so it's so coming into dollars, no?
Yes, yes, we use dollars, sir.
Okay. So I'll go with the dollars. So if on masters, there are two types of masters or PhD. There are two types of scholarships in Malaysia. Number one is graduate assistant. Number one, graduate assistant. Number second, graduate research assistant, GRA. What is the difference? The difference is simple. The difference is of stipend. The GA will get the stipend from university. University will pay him the amount. And for masters, it's 1300 ringgit, which means 315 US dollars. And for GRA, it's around 1800 ringgits for GRA. In GRA, a student will get the amount from the grant that is given to university by education ministry, and he will or she will work strongly on a what we say specified topic, which is which is based on a grant. Let's suppose there is a grant that okay, we have to work on the images of COVID coronavirus. So what you will do, you will just identify the images all the way in 2 years and all the things. So if there is a grant on COVID-19, then you will be paid by education ministry, and that particular grant will be occupied by your professor or associate professor, which is your supervisor, right? So for masters on GA, you will get 1300, and for GRA you will get 1800. Okay. Now for PhD, again same policies, GA and GRA. If you're coming for GA on PhD, you will get 1600 ringgits. And if you are coming on a grant, then it will vary in between 2,500 to 3,500. So if you are getting 3,500 ringgits, which means 8,450 US dollars. And literally speaking, over here, the livelihood and the routine is very economical. I can have my dinner in 20 ringgits only. The entire meal of one day can be easily occupied in $10 to $15, 10 to 15 ringgit, sorry. You know, three-time meal in 10 ringgits. That's it. Even if you are not and in that meal you will have a lavish food. You will have chicken, you will have roast and all the thing. The Pizza Hut costs you 13 ringgits. The MACD cost you around 7 to 10 ringgits. The MACD burger. The KFC will cost you around 8 to 12 ringgits. So this is somehow the things are over here. And when you will be paid this amount, either on masters or PhD, so you have to cover two things. Number one, your meal, your traveling, though there are point buses that travel, but if you are traveling from one city to another city, you have to manage it by yourself. But if you are coming from hostel to university, then there is a bus that is following a particular schedule, so there is no need to get the extra transport. But there are some private applications also, like Grab and Uber. So they charge you 5 ringgits, maximum 10 ringgits or something like that, if you are going within the city. But if you are going out of the city, more or less, I'm in Sri Sikandar, and if I want to go Kuala Lumpur, which is 3 hours, at a 3 hour distance by drive. If I go Kuala Lumpur, it will take me 3 hours through car. So for that, if I go for via bus, it will charge me 27 ringgits. 27 ringgits in an aircon bus, air conditioned bus. So what's a big deal? So regarding the stipend, it's better to go for GRA option always. If you go for a GRA option, you will have a lot of money. So if people is, the student is married, lots of people who are masters, they are not married, but for the PhD people, they are married. So if they are married, they can also accommodate their family also. He can bring his wife to this Malaysia, and there are several options to rent. If I'm a person and I'm going to, at this moment I'm in hostel, so it's a pretty short room, not so much big. I have four walls, I have one bed, I have aircon, and this room charged me 400 ringgits per month. So 4 ringgits per month, and I have aircon for 24 hours. In this pandemic situation, I need an aircon to sit in the room and study very in a comfortable way. So if you are on a GRA, the life is very easy. But for GA, the life is somehow what we say difficult. You cannot enjoy in that way. As I'm a very fond of traveling, so I used to travel a lot. So for me, I think, and I'm a kind of a person where I used to sit with a friend, so I used to offer food. And like this way, this is a part of life. You offer sometime food, you have and the people, I'm not that much very formal, because you all are my brothers, and I'll be very straightforward. If you have a smoking, if you are smoker and you are addicted, then the cigarettes over here are very expensive. So I suggest that if you are smoking, it's better to quit, or it's better to adjust yourself accordingly. So because you people are like my younger brother, and I believe that if I'll guide you in a very minute level, though it requires much more time, but still I'm trying my level best to communicate each and everything as if you are experiencing the same thing. Being seated in Somalia, you're experiencing the Malaysian thing. If you are going to buy a car, it's 3,000 ringgits. In 3000 ringgits you will have a car which is quite what we say, if I just type it for you, it's a Kanchal car, cancel car. Okay, this car, if you buy this car will give you, you can buy this car. This is a very comfortable car, and for a person that can go for a 3-hour drive, it's enough, and it's a very economical. The petrol over here, the fuel is 2 or 1.5 ringgits per liter. 1.5 ringgits per liter, which means that you can purchase this car for once, and then you can enjoy traveling anywhere. You can go for a long drive. Sometimes when you are doing research, you need some space, you go for a very long drive. So I suggest that you must. I'm also planning for a car next month. So most probably you can also do this thing. And apart from that, if you manage your savings, then you can go for a big car also. If I just show you the car that I'm going to plan, do pray for me so that I may have this car. This car is very good, this one, but in gold color. It's around 6,500 ringgits. So if you manage yourself to save the amount, and then you can just buy this car, and it's very a good car. Okay, apart from a stipend, I'm hope that I'm very clear. There are two options: GA, GRA. GA means you will survive hand to mouth. For GRA, you will survive very lush. Not survive, but you will enjoy the Malaysia. Now, the third thing is that if you have been offered with GA, either on MS or PhD, what you want to do? You accept the offer or not? Okay, majority of the Malaysian faculty members, they are evaluating your application based on your documents, right? They have not met you before, right? So if they don't ever met you, did not meet you before, and they are judging you by the application, 99% chances are there they provide you with GA. They don't provide GRA easily. Why? Because they want you to come first, and after coming over here, they will judge you. How they judge you? Over here in Malaysia, a very good news for you, that over here you will not go through the courses. You will not study courses in masters. There is no course. You will not study course anymore. You will just come over here. Is one course only, that is research methodology. It's a course of 3 days only. 3 days. You just go 3 days study. After 3 days, you will get 3 days gap, and after 3 days, you will have a paper. After and that paper, you have to score minimum 65%. Minimum 65%. The paper is entirely based on MCQs and multiple choice questions and true false, like that. So if you attend 3 day a course, and after 3 day gap you are appearing in a test, and the test is quite easy, you easily get the past papers also, a very handy method to clear that course. I even follow the same methodology. First I was thinking that okay, I should attend entire lectures and all the things. I just attended the lectures just because of the attendance, and after the attendance, I just go through the past papers, and I able to pass the paper also. But many of them in our batch, there are people who got failure in that subject. And when you come over here, you clear this course. It's a must thing. You clear your research methodology course anyhow. It's a must thing. And after that, for masters, I hope you are writing for masters. The time duration is 2 years. For masters, you are about to get master's degree in 2 years anyhow. Whatever difficulties you will face, but anyhow you get the master's in 2 years. So in 2 years, when you arrive here, you will get the what we say. Yeah, when you arrive here, you will go through a medical test. In medical they will measure the what we say your normal physical, medical, they will see the things. And if you have something that is contagious or something that is that make you unfit, a candidate that can spread that disease to any other Malaysian people, so they will just say you, okay, goodbye, you are not suitable. Like hepatitis B, if you have hepatitis B, they will not accept you here. So if you are it's better to have a medical in all aspects. So you can go on the website over there. They, when you apply, you will get all the things that these are the tests that you have to do. It's better to get your test over there, because if you are not sure about your health and you are coming here, then you will be regarded as a misfit, and you will have to return back. Ultimately they don't register you for the university. So one thing that is very important, that when you return here, when you come here, you go for a medical, and the medical will take at least 4 to 5 days, and then you will be said that okay, now you are clear. You go university to registration department, get your registration done. You get the registration, you get the email address, you get the password of Wi-Fi, your student ID card. I have not my wallet here. Otherwise, I would have shown you my student ID card. Because over here, wherever your sitting will be, this would be a lab where you will have a system. You will perform your research, and you will be directly reporting to your supervisor. Supervisor is like a father over here, godfather. You cannot do anything against of it. If he says it's morning, you say yes sir, it's morning, though it's very dark out there. So he's the boss ultimately. So sometimes I also very tired of this thing, but anyway, I'm joking. My supervisor, Dr. Vijan Sagyana Srivadam, is a South Indian, but very nice guy. And people over here are very nice. When I came over here on the very first day, he called me. He asked my health. He asked that how's the place, how are you? Have you talked to your family out there, your mother, and how you feel being here? So people are very nice. They don't know the what we say the tricky things. They are very simple. And over here females are much more dominant. And over here families eat at outside. So during COVID-19 it was very difficult for them to be enchained within the homes. Just after COVID-19 situation passes, now the situation is bit controlled. But anyhow, so after getting your registration, you will have to appear for RM course, that is research methodology. If you pass, you pass. If you not pass, then you have to reappear. And for reappearing for the course, you have to pay the fees. First time they don't charge you fees. You are on GA or GRA, you don't pay the fees for the course. But if you fail, you will pay 1500 ringgits for that subject. You will pay 1500 ringgits for that subject. Okay. Why it's must? Because it will teach you the research norms, how to do research, what is the good thing in research, what is the bad thing in research. And after that, if you are a master's student, let's suppose Abdi Nasser is there, he is pursuing masters. So for masters, his supervisor will say him that you have only 4 months, 3 to 4 months. In 3 to 4 months, read the research papers, various research papers, come up with problem statement. Come up with a problem statement, a proposal, and he has to appear in the RPD, which is Research Proposal Defense, anyhow, in 3 months. Till 3 months, he will get the stipend. He will enjoy life like a very, in a lush way. But after 3 months, they will stop the stipend. They will stop the salary. They will say, Abdi Nasir, okay, you are masters on GA. Now just appear for the RPD. Until unless you will not clear your RPD, your research proposal defense, you will not be having your salary back. So there are two attempts for clearing the RPD, research proposal defense. First time you clear, okay, good, very well, job done. But if you are not clearing the first time, they will give you minor or major corrections, which means that you will compensate your topic and will reappear for that. And If you reappear after 1 month, the entire 1 month you will not enjoy your salary. It means that after 3 months you appear. Let's suppose I'm a person, I appear after 3 months, and I'm unable to clear my research proposal defense. In research proposal defense, there are examiners that evaluate your topic whether it's a suitable topic to do research or not. So if you pass the RPD, it's good. If you not pass, they will give you 1 month. And for that particular 1 month, you will not enjoy your salary. That will be freezed. That will be freezed. So after that 1 month, you will again reappear. If you clear, you will get the salary of that month and the freezed month collectively. Okay, I hope I'm clear. If 1 month salary is freezed, you are not getting 1 month in which you have been regarded the failure. And after 1 month, when you appear and if you successful, you got the success, then you will get the salary of that month as well as the month that was freezed before. But if you are not successful, then they will say, okay, goodbye, enjoy in your country, huh? They will send you back directly. But I'm really glad to share you that there are 2% chances that you don't clear. 2% chances. 2% chances means a person is very rowsy and very sluggish, not serious. And I think that at master's level, people are very serious, damn serious about their studies. So I don't think that people, they will do or commit such thing. But there are still some people. I have witnessed those people who came over here, they changed up their mind, they just have their salary, enjoyed 3 months a lot, and then they went back. They said, okay, we are done with this thing. But there are many people who are still pursuing the thing. So it depends on individual, right? But I'm really clear that there are 2% chances that you don't clear, but 98% people are there. They say that they can clear this thing, and it's not a big deal. So there are no subjects. You have to clear RM and then your RPD. For masters, you have to clear it in anyhow 3 to 4 months roughly, and depending upon the university policy. In UTP, they give you 3 months for masters. For PhD, they give you 9 months. For PhD, they give you 9 months. So after 9 months, if I'm a PhD scholar, I have to give the RPD. You will be amazed that if you ask me that on in which month I gave my RPD, I came on 3rd January 2020. I came over here, landed over here on 3rd January. I appeared for my RPD in 24th April. What it means: January, February, March, April, 4 months. I appeared for my RPD in 4 months, but it's not easy for everyone. Case to case, it depends, because some people are slow in terms of finding the research problem. Some people are very fast. So it depends on case to case. My PhD topic is an extended work of my master's. So I knew the thing that what I'm going to do, but many of the people don't do and don't know, especially the people who are coming on masters. Now, for GRA, if a GRA person is there, either on masters or PhD, they already know the problem because they are coming on a grant, right? They are coming on a project, so they knew the problem, so they can easily defend the topic. So for GA, it's a bit difficult because they have to read out, they have to see different papers, they have to get such bundles, right? If I just show you, they have to read out such papers, right? If you can see, these are the papers that I am going to read for my RPD. So every paper, if you can just see, I have marked all the things, right? So these are the only papers. And after that, I was also weak in technically, so I used to read the books. So over here we have very fine library. I'll share you the video also. So this is one of the book. This is one of the book. See the thickness, huh? If I just throw on someone, he will die. This is the book. And the second book is this one. My work is on drones. I used to work on the stability of drones. So this is the book on MATLAB, right? So there is two more books in my bag, you know. So what there's a very beautiful library and lots of resources are there. You don't take tension for that. But uh, where was I was discussing this thing that for the research thing, you must have this thing. You must have what we say need to cover the RM course as well as for your research proposal defense. It's a very must thing. So if we just go ahead of this thing, if you just clear your research proposal for masters, you need to produce only one paper. You need to produce only one quality paper and you will get the degree. For PhD, you get three papers. One is conference, one is journal, and third one is again journal. You know, at this moment, I don't define what is the difference between journal and conference. When you will get the admission, you will ultimately know what is the difference in between journal and conference. But at this moment, for masters, you need one journal paper at least minimum. You need one paper on your problem. You identified the problem, you solved it through simulation or experimental work, you write a paper, you get published in any journal. After publication, you will be said by your supervisor, okay, go and write your research thesis, your report. You submit the report, you appear in a viva in a very suited booted way, and then you will get the degree. But or for PhD, you need to produce at least three papers, three quality papers. And for PhD, the evaluation of PhD scholar, they invite external people. External people means from another university. Another university people come to your university to evaluate your thesis. But for masters, it's not the case. Masters is quite easy in terms of evaluation terms now. So there is no courses, so you would fully go pick a get up early in the morning by 8, and you just go for the bus, and then you just go at your place. The place will comprises of kettle. If you can just see, I have the kettle over here. I was taking tea. You have the toaster and all the things, and then you just have a couch also within your lab. So if you feel sleepy, just go and sleep in the lab. No one bothers that whether you are doing research or it is only you who maintain the routine, that what are the sleeping hours, what are the entertaining hours, and what are the research hours. They have very fine gym and all the things, and most of the universities in Malaysia, they follow the same thing. So I was starting from here. If you just see what you are going to do, first place is arrange all the documents, right? You arrange the documents, then you will go over here, the staff directory. You will pick any person. I told you that never go for lecturer, only go for associate professor or professor. So let's suppose I'm picking up this person. This is associate professor. Associate professor, IR means inventor, because he has some patents, he has invented something. Dr. Rose Diazli bin Ibrahim, he is dean of my university. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just see specialization. I'll see, okay, he has this thing, he has this thing, he has this thing. Okay, so if you have the same interest, let's suppose your final year project has any one of this element, then you can just copy his email, copy, right? You go for Gmail and try to make a very sober Gmail ID. Don't put like mustafa.rocketmail.com, Mustafa Rockstar. Not like that email. Very simple. Like if you have a name Abdisalan, just write abdisalan.m at gmail.com. That's it. So if I just show you what you should write in your email to that supervisor, you just start with greetings. because you know you are a global citizen. You don't bother on religion, right? I, at least I don't bother on religion. I have Christian friends, I have Indian friends, I have Hindu friends. So you write with greetings, not Assalamu alaikum, not Namaskar, not any of the religion. Just write greetings, and then you just start with a very fine language that is with profound gradations. That okay. So over starting two lines, starting two lines must be the arresting one, so that the person should be arrested at a very first moment. So if you just write this thing, you just said, okay, I'm Ghulam Mustafa, and PhD student from this, and I want a world scholarship, and then you just show what your interests are. I'll also provide any of this session is recorded, so you will have this particular thing in your email, right? In your recording. In this particular thing, in this particular paragraph, I discuss my master's background. For if you are coming for masters, you discuss your bachelor's final year project, that what was the area, because on that particular area you are opting this particular professor, right? Then you say that okay, I have done this and this thing. Now initially I said that why research paper is important, although it's what was optional, right? But why it's important? Because if you write somewhere that you have a publication on your final year project, then it will trigger, I repeat, it will trigger the professor that okay, Abdi Salan has got one paper also, okay, it means he can do research. This is how they make up their mind. They say okay, this person has got a publication, it means that it has an idea. Yes, you got a hand raised, Mohammed. You have a question, Mohammed? You have a question, Mohammed?
Their questions
Mohammed,
will
you have
be
a question?
after. Their questions will be after you ended the session.
Okay, 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 okay. So in this particular selected lines, I mentioned my research publications, right? And after that, you the very must thing, because it's not important that the research interest that you have. Let's suppose Abdi Salam want to do research on what we say planes, or communication, or something, any subject. But though that area is that area belongs to this professor, but right now this professor is not working in that area. So how he will motivate? So these lines will motivate him. I feel that I'm reading these lines for you. I feel that your supervision and research expertise, as highlighted at the university side, perfectly suit my objectives for pursuing masters or PhD as per your availability, right? Pursuing the PhD studies. And this regard, I show up my interest by writing this email to you. Okay. Now this bold line shows what? Apart from this, I have expertise in image processing, as well as in the field of internet robotic things, and have some publications which are attached with this application. It means now these lines shows that okay, sir, you have this area. I have done my work, my FIP, my final year project in this area. I'm good at this. But if you are not working in this area and you are working in another area, I'm also willing in that particular area too. I have limited room. It's just like two friends are sitting. One friend asked Abdi Salam that, okay, go for a cricket, huh? So Abdi Salam said, okay, I can play cricket. So suddenly he changed that, okay, I left playing cricket and now I'm playing basketball. So Abdi Salam said, okay, I can also play basketball. In the same email, what I tried to say, that if the supervisor is of one background, one research interest, it's possible that he might be not working anymore in that area. So after discussing your project, you just show this interest that okay, sir, I can work in this area. But apart from that, I'm also willing myself to join any of your sessions now, join any research or topic. I'm open to any topic. So this is how you do the things, right? So this particular email, and if you have any Google Scholar link, you just create it. Otherwise, for bachelor's people, it's not required. But if you are master's student already and you are pursuing PhD, you must have Google Scholar link. What it shows, if I just click it, you will see that it will just go on Google Scholar. And this is me, by the way. I have removed my beard. It was long time ago. It's an old picture. So you can see there are a number of papers, right? So if you have only one paper, even if you have only one paper and it's a conference paper, even then you will have strong chances to get the approval. I said that paper is optional for masters, people who are coming for masters, but it will create an impact. you know if a person having grant, and it's just like you are hiring some driver for your car, right? So if a person has a experience, what you will say? You will say, okay, you were previously working as a driver, so I'll hire you. But if he knows only driving but he was not professional driver, you will somehow think, okay, he's not professional driver, so why I should hire him? Isn't so? So similar case is that if you have publication, the professor will think, okay, he know about the publication thing. But if you don't have publication, there are many cases that I have witnessed already, where they provided opportunity to newcomer who is not having the research publication. But for PhD, it's must thing. You must do research before coming for PhD. But for masters, there's 50-50 case. Okay, so I have discussed the email. I have discussed the what we say. I discussed the document. I discussed how you go and search out for the thing, like how you do the things, how to search out the professor, and apart from that, I personally think that there is one more thing that I want to discuss is that after clearing your RPD, you are not free. Why? Because every year there are 2 semesters, right? In 2 semesters, you have to do research, and each semester you have to provide a progress. You have to present your research. Like on 12th November, I have to present my progress. So if I just show up my progress to you, where is the progress? My papers, BAPC. It's BAPC, biannual progress. What we say? What we say? Conference. Biannual progress conference. So if you just see my presentation, it's regarding my progress, that so far in 6 months what I have done in previous, and how many objectives of my PhD or masters I have covered so far. So if you just see, this is the presentation, right? So candidate name, PhD, and all the things. Then I recall my research title. What is the research title? What are the things? As you know, my work is on this drone. So after that, these are the state of the art and all the things. This is the progress that I want to quote. So this is how you do the things, right? So every semester you need to do the progress. If you don't do the progress, they'll stop your salary. And without salary, you cannot manage anything. So this is the thing. So now how to apply on admissions, right? So if you just go to UTP website, every university has admission portal, and you just follow the instructions over there. The documents that you need, I already mentioned. Now initially when Malaysian universities started offering admission, they don't charge security deposit, but now they charge security deposit also. For security deposit, I must share you that they charge 1800 US dollar, 1800. If you are selected, they will ask you to deposit 1800 US dollar into their account. Why? because they want to show that the person who is coming, he will not leave the degree in the mid of somewhere, right? And when you complete it, the half of the amount will be returned back to you, and half of the amount they charge you for utilizing the facilities like basketball court, gymnasium, swimming pool, library, and all the things. So 1800 US dollar, which is equivalent to 7,200 ringgits. 7,200 ringgits. Okay, and in this particular amount, they will charge you the course fee of RM and RPD also. So that is covered in this fees. Apart from that, I just end up over here, and I'll also show you the some of the videos that I want to show you now. So this is one of the video. This is the UTP from aerial view. It's an aerial view of UTP. Do I just play it? I hope audio is clear.
Yes, sir.
This is UTP.
To those of you who have come in search of answers, seeking inspiration, and looking to achieve your aspiration, this is the place where you will learn to find the answers, where you will be motivated to discover your inspiration, where you will be propelled to realize your aspirations. With today's global challenges, the role of the engineer, the scientist, and the technologist is transformed from being the technical innovator into being the agent of global change. Our world-class resources and faculties, our cutting-edge facilities, our global partnerships with leading universities, our strong network with industry for internships and job placements, our worldwide research collaboration. These are the inspirations and the opportunities at UTP. Here, we nurture the analytical skills and intellectual capabilities of all who walk the UTP path. Here we culture the ethics and the attitudes that will shine in the real world. Here we expose ourselves to what it truly means to be human, to be a valuable part of society, to be the empowered people. At UTP, the torch is firmly in your hands. So hold it up high and let us together light it and let it burn bright.
So this is a this is the entire view of UTP, and I used to sit in this particular building. This is block number 22. This particular thing circle is known as Chancellor Complex. The half of this portion is the library, half of the portion. So let me just show you another video. It will cover, these are the hostels. So let me just play this video for you. It's one day in UTP, how a person gets up early in the morning and what it do before COVID. Before COVID, what was the routine? Okay, the person was scanning something, it was attendance. Okay, so over here they don't go for the conventional scan, conventional attendance. Rather than they have application in their mobile phones through which they just mark their attendance and they scan the GPS location exactly. So this was entire about UTP. Any thing that you need to ask about this thing? There are many things that you can just explore on YouTube also, and on this thing, you can also ask me also. I'm really grateful to Murti Doon, and specifically, I'm really grateful for Engineer Abdi Salam that he has requested me. Abdi Nasir also, that he requested me for this thing. And apart from his request, I was also much more interested, to guide multiple people for this particular thing, because I think that the only way for the developing countries, the people, because I personally think that when I was graduated, I was not getting the job over there in Pakistan, and in developing countries, people have a lot of saturation. So research thing is one of the thing that can boost you up and elevate you. You have witnessed the videos. Exactly, there is the same environment. Now, what is the impact of COVID-19? After COVID-19, the situation, is very peculiar and strange. We have online classes now, and the cases are not that much big. So now UTP allow people to travel in teams. So they have only called the final year students and the first year students to university. The second and third year university students of bachelors, they just told them that they go to their homes and they start working from there or from their hostels. For masters and PhD students, they have divided them into teams. So team A will come regularly for a week, and team B on the second week. And if there is someone who need to be here in campus for all the week, so he can just request his supervisor, and supervisor will endorse the request, and then and only then he can come for the UTP to do the experimental work. So far, my work is concerned, my work is entirely on simulation. So I am on at my hostel and I'm doing work from home. Regarding the meetings, whenever there's a meeting, then and only then I meet my supervisor and I go to university. And most of the cases, my supervisor used to meet me at MACD or Pizza Hut. They don't bother this thing that I should come university. So at this moment, I don't have. There's no need to mark attendance for masters and PhD right now at this moment due to COVID. And so far, the cases are low. But since there are elections in Malaysia, the cases right now is 700 cases in Malaysia, and the state where I live, only 8 cases so far, and this is just because of the elections. Other than that, if you ask this question before 1 month, then there were zero cases in Perak, specifically where I used to live over here. So I think that Malaysia is a very safe place so far now. If you term, and the culture, I really acknowledge the culture, because when COVID happened, They asked us to, the hostel that I have right now, it's outside of the UTP. It's not within the UTP, right? So they asked me to shift myself into the within the campus, and they provided me coupons, QR scans. For scans, I can enjoy three-time meal within UTP over here. There are eight canteens. In eight canteens, wherever I'll just go, I just show my mobile phone that QR code, and I enjoy free meal over there. This is because of the this is the private university, I must say. This is not the public university. Even though it's a private university and they are blessing such perks to us, so this is the culture of Malaysia, that they really, that really matters for them. But so far, in order to maintain the economy, they have spent a lot of thing during COVID. So at this moment, if someone is going to apply for UTP in this COVID situation, they have made a policy that no one, neither tourist nor student, can travel to Malaysia right now, up up to 31st December. If the people got the admission already, they'll just study and register themselves from their country, and they start their studying online. They cannot come over here, but soon, when this policy will be amended, you can travel to Malaysia at that moment. And when you travel to Malaysia, you have to pay the quarantine fees. And then quarantine fees is something like 3000 ringgits. They have increased this fees to 3000 to 5000 ringgits. And in this amount, you will be quarantined in a hotel, where you will be served the food for three times, and it will comprises of test. After 14 days, you will get the test, and if you are negative, then they will allow you to travel to university. Otherwise, if you are positive, then they will say you to admit in a hospital, and bear the expenses by your own pocket. They will not say you that, okay, you go university, ask them for the step, and no. But it's better that, if you are getting the admission, it's better to reach safely to Malaysia, and secure yourself, and then you just go for it. Right now, they have set the policy that 31st December is the date no one can travel. After 31st December, maybe they say, okay, that the students can travel. And if you travel, they'll charge you the quarantine fees, because Malaysia want to sustain their economy anyhow. And some people take it in a wrong way, and some people take it in a right way. I'm a person that think that the quarantine fees is somehow very huge. For me, like, I'm Pakistani, so 3000 ringgit is just like 1 lakh rupees. It means that if I'll go back to Pakistan, I'll spend somehow 60,000 for my airfare, my air tickets, and then when I'll be returning back, I should have 1 lakh rupees in my pocket, so that I may come back to UTP, right? So it's quite expensive and huge, but anyhow, there are some pros and cons of every country. So far, this is one of the cons right now due to COVID-19, but I'm not planning to go back to Pakistan, because I personally believe, maybe people disagree with my opinion, but I think that when you leave your country and you come to another place, it's better to settle there, right? So if I come over here in Malaysia, I will definitely, I'm a kind of a person that I used to make my space by own. So hopefully, I came here on 3rd January, and you literally not believe on this thing, but it's an admitted fact that today I'm very famous with my name. People used to call me Dr. Abdo, and every community, I know many of the people over here, and I used to sit with every nationality based people. I used to make friends. You must be social enough, and uh, this thing had boosted me a lot, and I'm surrounded by so many people, and I'll try my level best to settle over here. I have met, and I'm not limited to UTB. I know people from UTM. I know people from Utah. I know various people. So just after acquiring the degree, I came up with a vision. There were two objectives. Number one, a piece of degree, a piece of paper, and second objective was to make friends and make social contacts. Friends that will last forever. So you also make up your mind that if you are coming for a higher studies, you should not only limit yourself to the degree, but rather than you make some friends also. And my third objective is to get the job over here, either in any form, either in postdoc form or in lecturer form. So I'll try to that. And those people who are handsome, for them, you can just opt. We all are matures, right? So I think that if you come over here, you can also find a very good life partner also, and you can just settle yourself here. So it's a very pretty option. But the only flaw is that Malaysia will tell you that you should drop your initial nationality. So if I'm Pakistani and I got my life partner over here, so after getting my life partner over here, I have to drop off my Pakistani passport, and that is something that is not digestible for many of the people. But some people, like me, I can drop. So it depends on different men to people that how they gather the things, right? So apart from that, if you have a very strong bonding with your supervisor, I said already that supervisor godfather. So if you have a strong opportunity, a strong bonding with your supervisor, maybe your supervisor will provide you opportunities to opportunities, yani one by one. It will provide you opportunities, one, then second, then third, then fourth, and maybe it's possible that they endorse you for the faculty member. So this is the thing that all I described. If I have missed anything, you can just contact me via Murti Doon. And I really thankful for entire team for collaborating and telling me the things. I just stop the screen share, and now I just want a very Farhan is also here, huh? Farhan is also here. Farhan met me in Pakistan, and he is very good friend of mine. And apart from that, I just want to mention this thing that when you are coming all the way from Pakistan or Somalia, you must have one thing. At least I have one thing in my mind. People over here, they used to say me, many of the people, they used to say me that, Mr. Abru, when you sleep? I said, I don't sleep. Why? Uh, I sleep for the hours that I require. Otherwise, I'm so much indulged in so many activities. Abdul Nasir and Farhan are connected with me on my Facebook. So they are totally, and even though they are connected with me on WhatsApp also, they used to see my stories. I'm going gym. I'm going to engage with many people. I have friends. I have what we say female friends also, and I am enjoying my life in every aspect, in terms of research, in terms of all the things, but in a very positive way, because after all you are carrying an image of a country, right? So you have to be very careful for that. And I think that you must have one thing in your mind. One thing in your mind. I don't know about the culture of Somalia, but I know the culture of Pakistan. Over there are many people, but it's common. There are many people, even your relations, even your relatives, who people who always try to demotivate you, right? So once I have been told by it's very heartening, uh, very sad moment for me. Whenever I recall, I feel bad within my heart. A very fine person, a very fine relative, very near to my heart. And she said that, okay, leave engineering, open up a shop.
Sir, and I think thank you very much. I think the time is going to end.
Okay, okay. The
But now we,
last sentence I say that people used to demotivate you. Never demotivate yourself, and try to be in the circle where you have been elevated. Okay, so with this I just take the questions if you have any
Yes,
sort of
inshallah,
question.
sir. And I think we have planned the session to be 1 hour and a half. Now I think it is 1 hour and 40.
Okay.
And I'm going to request Mr. Hamza to summarize what sir said in 2 minutes.
Okay. One more thing. Murti Doon Facebook this page, and Abdi Nisar and Farhan. You just make up a WhatsApp group of you people, and if people pursue you for masters and PhD for this Malaysia, you just sort out who is eligible and who is very fine among them, and then you just share me the CVs so that I may connect them with the potential supervisors.
Okay, inshallah, we will do that. And Hamza, and please summarize what sir said in 2 minutes. You can.
Thank you, Absan. I'm
In
also
Somali
like to
language,
thank
because some people may
Bulan.
can understand.
Okay. I would like to translate this.
عدك كرو قاعد
This
حمزة
info.
سومالي اسكا هذا عدد كان بالعبار وسوكو.
And waxaan jeclahay in la maqlo Absan. First, I would like to thank Dr. Gulam for his informed well presentation. And I would like to translate the sajam or such summary to make. And so, first of all, marka ugu horeysay yani waxaan rabaa inaan kusoo koobo khudbadii dheereed oo injineerka noo jeediyey daqiiqado kooban. Kow marka hore waxaan rabaa inaan ka hadlo nuqdooyinka ugu muhiimsan oo ka hadlay. Horta doctorku injineerku hadda wuxuu ka diyaarinayaa dalka Malaysia shahaadada PhD-ga hadda ayuu wadaa. Waxaan rajeynayaa in mataqaana sanadkii 2020ka bishiisii koowaad uu baxay. haddana mataqaana processku maro. Marka koowaad waxaan rabnaa inaan qodobo dhowr aan kusoo koobo barnaamijkan. waxa laga doonayo waxay tahay marka meesha u socotid maxay tahay waxyaaba laga doonayo requirements laga doonayo maxay yihiin, then process ka amar leedana muxuu yahay, waxyaabaha aad meesha mataqaana ku arki doontana maxay yihiin opportunities meesha yeelan intaas aan kusoo kabaraba. Marka koowaad waxyaaba laga baahan yahay markaad rabtid inaad aadid Malaysia ama aad wax ka dalbatid waxa laga doonayo waa inaad degree haysataa, degree-ga jaamacadda waa inaad haysataa, transcript-gaana uu ku dhameystiran yahay, يعني inay diyaar ku yihiin oo iyaga tasdiiqsan waliba ku diyaarsan jaamacadda ama shahaadadaada ay wasaaradda waxbarashada soo martay, wasaaradda arrimaha dibadda soo martay, jaamacadda aad ka soo haysato tasdiiq dhamaantood ayaa laga doonayaa. laba warqad oo waras waa warqadaas. warqadda labaad ee laga rabo waa recommendation letter. recommendation letter-kana qof kasta kuma sii karo, waa warqad sugaysa inaad aqoon ama mataqaana indhergadnimo leedahay, kuwaas ay qoraan professorada iyo associate professorska. marka yaa laga doonaya inay warqadaas ku qoran waxa ku qoraya ama ku saxiixaya qof professor ah ama associate professor ah oo jaamacadda dhiga. waliba qof kasta kuma saxiixaya maadada aad rabtid markaas aad jeceshahay inaad baratid ama maadooyinka ugu muhiimsan dadka ku dhigo kale ayaa mataqaana raadinaysaa. haddaad engineering barato kale ama sida anigoo kale waxaan bartaa maadada energy engineering, haddaan u baahdo kale marka inaan ku diyaariyo recommendation letter inaan qorto waxaan waa waajib waa inaan u tagaa macallinkii koorsooyinka ugu badnaa ay dhigay doctorka ahaa, maadooyinka thermalka ay dhiga, maadooyinka solar energy ay dhiga, wind energy ay dhiga, yani maadada core subject-ga ayaad u baahan tahay recommendation letter inaad u heshid. almost waxaad u baahan tahay 2 binaad heshid inaad ku diyaarsan tahay. second thing, Malaysia marka la joogo kale waxyaabaha muhiimka ah iska doonayo waxaa ka mid ah English certificate proficiency-ga warqadda la yiraahdo ama shahaadada cadeynaysa inaad tahay qof yaqaana English luqadda Ingiriiska. walow jaamacadaha Ingiriiska yani jaamacadda Malaysia siduu u sheegay injineerku ay baryahan qaar ay bilaabeen inaan iskaga baahnaan warqadda sida yani jaamacadaha qaar bay waxay ku xijeeyaan in loo diyaar garoobo IELTS-ka shahaadada certificate-ka IELTS-ka ama TOEFL-ka in la diyaariyo, balse jaamacadaha qaar hadda waxay bilaabeen inay warqadda ka tanaasulaan, laakiin tal mid lamid ay sameeyaan oo ah warqadda loo yaqaano English certificate proficiency-ga ee ka imaanaysa jaamacadda. يعني warqad cadeynaysa inaad 4 sano ugu dambeysay wax baranaysay jaamacadda aad ku soo qaadatay English inaad ku soo qaadatay jaamacadda ku qoraysaa, jaamacadda ayaad ka soo qaadanaysaa. sidoo kale waxaad ku mataqaana markaad tahay qof bachelor ah, bachelorka dhameeyay, waxaa laga doonayaa inaad research paper-ka aad ku qortay FYP-gaada oo kale project-ga aad ka diyaariso kale paper ahaan inaad diyaarisid, maxaa yeelay waxay ka saacidaysaa mar walba inaad mataqaana aad dalbatid waxyaabaha scholarship-yada soo socda ee ustaadku sheegay. sidoo kale certificate-yada aad qaato kale software engineer haddaad barato kale koorsooyin yarka aad qaato dhammaantood waa mashin garaynaysaa ayagoo document ah. dhammaan document-yadaada dhan hal PDF ayaad ku diraysaa, hal PDF ayaad ka dhigaysaa, waxaad u kormarinaysaa CV-gaada ama cover letter ayaad samaynaysaa qurux badan. qaabkaas ayaad document-yadaada isugu waadi doontaa. kadib waxaad usoo jihaysanaysaa inaad jaamacaddeeda ay si ku anfici lahayd. marka la joogo Malaysia oo kale waxaad sameynaa waxaad u baahan tahay inaad ogaato ama xog ka raadaysid jaamacadda ama jaamacadaha ugu wanaagsan ee maadooyinka dhiga. marka waxaad u baahan tahay inaad geshid website-ka QS ranking la dhaho ama website-ka caalamiga ah lagu lagu cabiro heerka waxbarasho iyo heerka quality jaamacadaha ay leeyihiin. marka labada jaamacadood jaamacadda rabtid gelinaysa sidoo kale specific subject-ga aad u baahan tahay inaad ka diyaarisid ayaad mataqaanaa ayaad raadin doontaa. kadib markaa jaamacaddii ayaad soo heshay iyo kuliyaddii aad ku qanacday, markaad jaamacad soo doorato waxaad u imaanaysaa jaamacadda staff director-ga, yacni dadka staffka jaamacadda department-gaas aad doonaysa inaad master ka diyaariso ama PhD ka diyaariso dadka dhiga professor associate professor lecturerska ayaad u imaanaysaa. kadib process-ka uu ka duwan yahay ama opportunity-ga iyo Malaysia iyo kale aad ayuu ka duwan yahay meelaha kale. maxaa yeelay waxaad u baahan tahay waa inaad heshaa qof professor ama associate professor ayaa ku dhammayn kara arrimaha aad uga baahan tahay jaamacadda. si guud meesha waxa yaalla waxay tahay laba option oo ah labada option ee scholarship ah. option kooda waxaa loo yaqaanaa waa GA option iyo GRA option. midna waa graduate assessment, midna waxa weeye waa graduate research assessment-ga. si guud engineerku wuxuu uga hadlay waxay tahay master in research markaad samaynaysid. masterka laba master ayaa jirta, master in project inaad ku samaysid oo kale project aad ku diyaarisid masterkaada ama thesis aad ku gudbisid, iyo master research aad ku samaynayso waa inaad research aad qabtaa. marka midka uu aad mataqaana kugula talinayo doctorku ama engineerku waxaa weeye master in research inaad samaysid. labadaas ayaana scholarship lah. scholarship-ka ay leeyihiinna waxay kale yihiin laba scholarship oo midna mataqaana jaamacaduhu ay dhiibaan, midna mataqaana kambaniyada qaar ee jaamacadaha siiyaan, taasoo mataqaana ay kala lacag badan yihiin. midda GRA-dana uu mataqaana isaga door bidayo, taana waxay ku suurtagelinaysaa GRA-da inaad heshid lacag dhan 18,000 oo lacagta rangiga Malaysia. aad u maasantahay cabdisalaan. qodobadu way dheeraayeen, mar raba inaan ku dheeraado. meesha wuxuu ka hadlay lacagta mataqaana cuntada kulac kugu filan oo kale. qodobada ugu dambeysa oo kale waxaa u baahan tahay waxay tahay markaad professorada marsid professorka dowladid emailna u samaysid emailkaad u dirtid oo kale wax markaa meesha imaatid oo kale lagaa doonaya waxay tahay master research markaad samaynaysid oo kale research paper ama research problem inaad qeexidid. research problem ama koorsada kuwada lagu dhigaa waxaa weeye 3 days oo koorsaa qaadanaysa research ku saabsan. 3 days kaas waxna bacay taskiga samaynaysa, hadda taskiga samaynaysa lacagta waa laga jaranayaa. PhD oo kale waa la mid almost. qofka masterka oo kale si degree uu helo wuxuu u baahan yahay inuu hal paper general paper uu qoro ama message paper hal kamid paperada uu qoro. qofka kan waxaa loo baahan yahay PhD-ga 3 paper uu inuu qoro. barnaamijka si guud mataqaana emailka kale marka professorka u diray sidoo kale waxaa laga doonayaa inaad mataqaana isticmaashid ereya soo jiidasho leh. professorka wuxuu ka saaciidayaa ama waa RGK-yaha ama ninka ka mas'uulka ka ah mataqaana ama fatherka, yani meesha mas'uulka ka ah markaad meesha joogtid asana wax kasta ku dhameynaya. maraba inaad hadal ku dheeraado wixii xikmad iyo
aad baa maasanta gudoomiye Xamse. waxaan rajaynayaa in Xamse inuu soo koobay dhammaantii oo professor ka hadlay. Dr. Engineer Glam and Hamza has summarized it as what you said and about Malaysia. Tonight we are all in Malaysia and we are going to come Malaysia and study there because you give us information and you show us the better side of Malaysia. Now we are ready to go there and meet you and also to get the education from there, master, PhD, and all of the participants have enjoyed a lot. And I think and if there is one of you who have a question, must raise his hand and I will allow him to ask one or two questions. The time is going to finish, but I'm going to give you 2 or 3 of you. So believe you have a question, raise your hand and I'm unmute. I think no one have a question, but there is a request from Sir, and all of you, I am going to request you to turn off your camera, and there will be a group photo from with Sir. So please kamarada fura waxaan idin ka codsanayaa kamarada furtaan kamarada markaad furtaan macalinka ayaan waxaan la galaynaa group photo. marka haddii suurtagal tahay please turn off your camera and we will take one photo with Sir.
Hey Farhan, you look handsome, brother.
He's in Somalia, sir. He's in Somalia now.
Somalia.
Yes, in Somalia.
Good, good, good. You
Everyone,
look rock
please,
star, huh?
will please turn on your camera and show us your face. Yes, yes, it's great. And Abdunasir Hersi, please open. Even your camera is off. Suada, Anas, Omar Ali, Hafsa Adan. I think you said, and our Somali girls, they are very shy, so maybe they are not going to open. But
Yeah,
boys
no
are going
problem.
to.
No
They
problem.
have
I just,
very good and pretty faces, so they are going to hide.
you people are very, I must share this thing that, uh, you people are very
Then I
humble.
think you have met. I think you have met many Somalian in Malaysia.
Who?
Somalian in
Yes,
Malaysia.
I met many of the people over here, but I'm a bit confused about the nationality, no?
No,
Uh,
so
because the people,
there are many students who come from Somalia. They are studying in Somalia in
actually,
Malaysia.
over here I met many of the people, but I'm not, very active in seeing the, recognizing the nationality, because
Oh,
people from Somalia, Sudan.
everyone who is look like Farhan is Somali. So just take him as standard.
Exactly, exactly. I have got this chance to teach one of my students.
Sir, have you take the picture? Have you take the picture?
No, no, I haven't. I just take
Okay, please,
now.
camera furta.
Okay.
Please turn on your camera.
After just counting five, I'll just hit the print screen button. Okay, one,
Okay, okay, okay,
two, three, four, and it's five. Happy faces, huh?
okay.
Done. Thank
Oh,
you so
thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank you so much for being so loving, and the way you
Anyone who have a
passion.
question? Anyone who have a question? There is one who have a question, sir. He's raising his hand. I'm giving him chance to ask you a question. Ahmed Abdel Nasser,
Yes.
welcome, please.
Yes, yes, sir. I have one question, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
While,
yes, yes.
welcome.
while trying to publish papers, can you please suggest us some websites that we can suggest that we can publish later?
Okay, one more thing is that if you have any sort of research and you are willing to publish it, and you are just bachelor student, right? So it's better to start with any conference, any of the conference.